Sims.
I don't like.
They have an older part, they're refurbishing.
Yeah, but you're literally wearing.
So that means they're really committed.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to be wearing
Talking about
it.
stuff like that.
We might could talk to
Yeah.
them. Nashville, I didn't have a chance to check over there. We're supposed to
You
have
always
a
wear
skate
stuff.
park.
I meant to be wearing stuff.
It's also
Why?
art.
Gym is one period.
Sometimes it's a day of our lives.
Yeah, I'd like to
What?
get that.
Live.
We were talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just think of forms. That could be pretty attractive.
And I actually emailed the skate park project, and they emailed me
Great.
back. And I didn't want to respond back without talking to you and like going through these things.
That looked to me,
You want me
the
to-
research I did, they looked like the best source of, because they had that
Introduction.
guide that you can use.
That's gonna be a business
And
We
I
are
got,
live.
Huh?
We are live.
Oh, hello. Hi. Welcome to the Skate Spencer Alliance. And then I also got the Hunger Skate Park people
Right.
to email me, and they gave me their website and everything to look into it. And they said any questions that I need to ask or anything, just shoot them a text.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So,
Hello, everybody.
Don't feel, shy. Speak up.
can we just recap where we are and
Yeah.
does everybody know?
You do the names thing again? Or?
Yeah, that's good.
Alright. You want to go first?
My name's Levi Isbell. My wife's on her way. She was here last time, Kate was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right on.
I'm Josh McCann. I'm his friend, and I meant to come here last time, but I don't have a car, and I live like 45 minutes out of town.
I get that.
So if someone can't come get me, then
I got that. Well, thank you for showing up for this one.
Ben Williams, I'll be around.
No, it's not. And Shakira Bowling.
And I'm Mark Rogers. I'm with the My Path Trail and Shakira's Senior Expo mentor.
I'm Gracie. I'm Shakira's cousin.
I'm Gavin. I'll be here on occasion in support of the skate park.
My name is Evan. I guess I'm just kind of here.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
I'm Corbin. I don't like being in front of cameras.
Be yourself.
Bless you.
Anyway,
Come as you are.
he just wants to skate.
Right on. And that's what we're here for. So, got all these. Any questions that you got?
No, I think you found a lot of the resources. There are organizations, national organizations that can help get this project going. I thought it was interesting, they defined a skate park a little bit, and Ben had offered his research that around 10,000 square feet is about the space. The construction costs that I read were about $45 per square foot. So, that's $450,000 if we end up there. The other thing that I noticed that was kind of universal in all the advice is you've got to have a skate park construction company specialist, and that it doesn't work if you just have the guy who does your sidewalks.
Which I have. I have to do that.
You do?
I have the Hunger Skate Parks that are like.
Okay.
Sidewalks?
Yeah. I thought you had
Okay, I have
a
a
sidewalk
guy that
guy.
does great sidewalks. It's
But
great sidewalks.
that makes a lot of sense because
Oh,
this
wow.
is a special use of the concrete, and so, those are some of the guidelines. And then I guess there are a lot of neighboring communities with skate parks that I think what we might want to do is get volunteers to go check them out and report back at the next meeting.
And our local skate shop, which is Rhett Skateboarding, I contacted them too, and they said that they would be supportful too and everything.
Great.
And, yeah. And they actually They texted me some ideas. Let me get there. Oh, and also I tried to contact indie skate parks advocates because they have donations all the time and petitions you can sign to help out and everything. So I tried to contact them, but they haven't responded back or anything. And which I think Rhett told me to. Well, yeah, Rhett told me to look into them. And then Christy, who is the co-owner of Hunger Skate Parks, they told me to contact her, which I did. She contacted me back, in which she was the one that sent me the emails of like, the platforms of what to do and everything.
Great.
And they just said they'd like support and everything, like post it or something, which was really cool. That's that on that. And then have you look at this. This is the Hunger Skate Park format. And then, do you want to look at that one first or the skate park project one?
Whatever you want to present.
Here's that one.
And, you know, I can look at some of this stuff after a meeting.
Okay.
I think, yeah, that looks like the next step is they're suggesting is talk to the town council. I think that's excellent. They've already, this subject was already brought up to them when Moses was working on it. But we didn't make any formal request. So I think it would make sense to get a group together, get on the agenda for the town council. They're very receptive, they're all nice people. And go and just tell them what you're looking for and that you're doing the research and get them on your side. One thing that I think you should feel good about is that there's a lot of the old people in this community that really agree with you that there need to be more resources for you guys. So I think it has broad support. But you know, if we end up needing $450,000, that's
Yeah.
more than I have. So by a long shot. So we would have a lot of work to do. There are lots of organizations, including our own local community foundation, who could provide some of the funds. And then it looked like all of these resources had some suggestions, and I think the skate park project gives grants themselves.
Yeah, they do.
So,
oh, and also, thank you for saying that word, grant. They told me to look into,
welcome.
hello, how do you say that word?
Oh, patronicity.
Yeah, in Indiana, it's a $50K matching grant.
Yes.
And they said that out of like the percentage, it is like a good high percentage that
Yeah.
we could like get that.
Spencer used patronicity to build the public restroom. So we've had success with that here already.
Cool.
So, and before we launch something like that, we need to make sure we have a location,
Which
approval.
also, you said we needed a proposal for the YMCA.
Yeah, I would also come to the board of the Y. Off the record. Don't repeat this anywhere. You're recording this, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Hide the
don't
cameras,
repeat this
hide the
anywhere.
cameras, get the audio out of here.
I'm on the board of the YMCA, and we did our strategic planning meeting last week, and I didn't bring it up, but somebody brought up, you know, you could put a skate park right in front of the Y, and it might be a really good thing. So don't go around saying the Y is going to put a skate park in.
Yeah.
But you know, nobody booed.
Cool.
So you know, I think it's the kind of thing that it also looks right, doesn't it? Right
It
in
does.
front
It
there,
like-
that little swale. I think you could really do some nice stuff with that space.
Like in the right by the Y kind of, or in front, like, what do you mean in front of the?
The big grassy area.
Like that circle?
Like where the playground is?
Yeah, the playground, if you're looking at the Y, the playground and the preschool are off to the right, but below the lower
Like, you know how the track's like in a circle and the
Yeah,
grass in a circle?
right, like in the middle of that.
I feel like that'd be too small.
It might be.
How come anyone say anything like behind the Y?
No.
No?
Didn't come up. It
No.
just didn't come up, so
'Cause that would be-
that doesn't mean it couldn't be.
Yeah.
But that was discussed, so. And then we talked last time, the town has a few lots, probably only one of them big enough, and that's the one right across from the My Path Pavilion,
Yeah.
Cooper Commons. Just across Cooper Street, there's an empty lot. It was flooded in the big flood of '08, and they're not supposed to build anything on it, but my understanding is that you can get exceptions for things like this.
Okay.
So that's what we'd be going to the Y and to the town to ask is, first, what do you guys think?
Mm.
They also have some money, not tons, especially the Y doesn't have a lot of money. But just start getting people thinking about it.
And I meant to go to the small businesses and ask them about things, but I didn't have time to.
Yeah, and on that note, I would start with Marcy King, is the executive director of the Chamber of Commerce, M-A-R-C-E.
And Zion, did you talk to anyone at Babs?
I believe so. I mentioned it to Jeremiah, and he said he already know about it.
Okay, yeah. Jeremiah and I have talked about it.
And you said Marcy.
King. And I would say, at some point, you want to talk to the Community Foundation, and that is Janet Rummel. And she'll be a good resource with funding.
Okay, cool.
I don't know if it would help at all, I haven't looked into it personally, but the retail chain Five Below does donation partnership type stuff for a bunch of different things, and you can actually, I mean, like local,
That's cool.
Small
Like
stuff.
our local projects.
yeah.
Where's that at?
Five Below is in Bloomington, and the little strip next to like Lowe's and stuff.
Cool.
And yeah, they have like a little thing next to the register that says that you can partner with them to do like looking for donations and stuff like that to get your name out.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So it looks like if you wanted to start handing out some job assignments, one thing would be to learn all we can about neighboring communities and who has a park. Talking to, I couldn't find a name, but I know a person at the Monroe County Parks Department who know about their skate parks. But we should probably get together some ambassadors who can go out, so you don't have to do it all. And then I would also suggest that you get a few people who could start doing research on things like Five Below. Just start making a list. We're not ready to apply for a grant, but make a list of where are some sources of money, because we'll have to have a lot of different sources.
On that, have we considered asking the county for any kind of financing? I'm friends with one of the guys on the county council, and that's just one. We would need more
Yeah.
than that, obviously. But that might be we're able to get our foot in the door.
Yeah, right. That's like a great way to start. Like thinking.
Yeah,
That'd be really cool.
and for the county right now, I hope you're not up on this story because it's incredibly boring and depressing, but our county is broke.
Yeah, they just
And-
raised the taxes.
But that is not a reason not to go talk to them about this.
I figured we could at least
So I think
try.
that's a good point.
And
Yeah, devil's advocate, that's gonna be one of the biggest pushbacks, is they're gonna say, oh, we don't have money, so why should we do this now? We just gotta have a good argument. for it.
Yeah, and what I do for my path is I'm always telling them what we're doing and then hinting someday, when you guys get your act together, I'll be asking for some of your money. But you want them involved. You want them to be a partner.
yeah, I was. How long do you think it'll be until we have something more material, like a more thoroughly laid out plan we can present to the county, because I think that would help us a lot.
Yeah, and you'll really need that for all of these presentations. I mean, you can go collect information from these other counties, other towns, but then you're gonna wanna put together whatever format, a PowerPoint or something, to show some sample parks, educate the town council and the Y board on how much skate parks cost. So, and it will also double as your senior expo presentation too, so you get that done early. Because it's the same kind of thing, you're educating the people that you want to come in as your partners about what you need. And one of the keys is, why would we need this? Why would we spend $400,000? And that's where you guys need to get together, and you could use some meeting time on that. Why would you tell the town council you need a skate park? And start making a list. And that'll be bullet points on your presentation.
Yeah, I know when I was showing you that email, I was like, it'd be really cool if we had like a projector up here. I could like put my phone up to and like you all could see it. Like that would be really cool.
Look at that.
Yeah, they do have one
We
here.
probably
yeah.
could.
All right.
When the screen comes out of the ceiling up there.
Matter of fact, the screensaver's on, if you look at the wall, looks at
Yep.
there.
Oh, yeah, you can see
Okay,
it.
so you have to turn it off.
So yeah, we could maybe ask if we could do that next time.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be great.
On that note, Spencer Pride is also offered as long as it's available, so we have 2 places to use. We'll have to talk to Andrea more about utilizing this and what her expectations from us to be, besides keeping it clean.
Yeah.
Ed O'Brien actually the other day said that we could use the Democratic headquarters too if we wanted
Yeah.
to. So there's no lack of space.
Yeah, you can,
for us to use.
lots of places to meet.
Cool. See, there is a lot of people that are interested in this and want to help out, and like,
Yes.
we just got to know the right ways to go about it and do it, and have good wording that they're like, ooh, okay, I like the sound of that. Let's go. Let's do this.
And to your point, you want to get a specific enough
Yeah,
story.
I have the distinct feeling that, given the advanced age and certain political inclinations of the kind of people who run the county rather than the town, we'll need a very thorough, well-detailed plan if we want to try to get these sorts of people on board.
Yeah.
Would you like me to talk to them?
And one thing they're gonna also ask,
I'm somewhat connected with that side of the town, and I consider myself the person at the table who is one of those side of the party, you know?
I was going to say, I ran for elected office once, actually for the local Republican Party. That's how I know Nick. So yeah, maybe you and I can.
Yeah, because I think if, I know this is going to get into a topic people don't like, but if both sides came together on it.
Yeah, this doesn't
Yeah.
have to be a partisan issue.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, I was thinking we could just both help out and both people would be happy.
Yeah.
So anyone here can individually talk to people they know and say, this is happening, and stay tuned. Be careful you don't make a specific ask or sound demanding, just let people know. You know Nick, let him know. This is coming up, this is on the horizon. But you want to have an organized presentation with some detail before we make an official presentation. So you want to make sure that it's a coordinated message from the group.
Okay.
Do you have any thoughts, Ben, on the downtown community, the Spencer Main Street group?
For the most part, I think everybody is on board. I talked to Julie Coffin about it, and they said they specifically can't get involved or add any money unless it's in that specific downtown area.
Right.
But they can put weight behind it and help get
Right.
the word out. So Spencer Main Street would definitely be beneficial to the cause. They just couldn't actually throw any money at it.
Understood.
Everybody that I've talked to, as far as like business owners or people downtown, seem to be into the idea. And specifically when you send people out to these other towns with the skate parks as well, you want to get feedback from the people utilizing the park. Probably want to talk to law enforcement. You want to get positive and negative things from them and collect it all. You can use the positive stuff more, obviously,
Right.
if you want to, but you want to talk to everybody about everything. I would also suggest talking to local businesses and seeing if they see an uptick in business, if there are any events at the parks, or just in general after having acquired the park in the town.
And I was thinking about that, yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be
so,
really
you know,
cool.
like talk to local restaurants, do they get more skaters in there spending money, you know, things like that. So don't just talk to the people that are using the park, like keep going out in ticks, you know, to see what all of the benefits to that location are going to be.
Have you talked to Kyle about it?
I have not, that'd be really great. Well, like an uncle that's like, I have like kind of a cousin, uncle that is, he's actually a police officer, and that would be a really good idea to talk to him about that, see what his intake in it is. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. And we do have that side project, I think, to talk to the Spencer police, Rich Fouch, and this might be when we're further along and we have an idea where it might be, but, you know, I think you all deserve to know what the rules are, and will they be consistently applied. And I think that's been the problem, as I understood from Moses, was one officer will tell you this, another officer will tell you this, and, you know, you'll get kicked out of this place today, but the next day it's okay. So we really need to get some close ties with the Spencer police at some point.
Yeah, that's something that, I wasn't here for the last meeting, but I watched the video. People were telling about how they've gotten kicked out of places here and there, and I've been skating for about a year, usually at night, but I've had cops sit there and watch me, not say a word to me. I've never been with anywhere.
So,
Like,
you know it's okay to a point.
Like, I know a few of the officers, like Kyle Jackson, is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
I know him, and he's never said anything to me. He's been one of the ones that watched me before, and just, I've never had issues with it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not out there trying to do anything stupid,
Right.
just ride around, but
But pointing out the inconsistencies, you know, is what,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just,
so-
you know, you're just asking, tell us the rules, so we
Yeah.
can make sure that we all
I mean,
stay within your guidelines.
I'll be honest, one of the first places I wanted to skate at, I didn't notice it for the first 6 months or so. It had no skating sign there, and cops had stopped by and like watched me and him just out there trying to figure it out, and they never say anything, even though there's a sign right there. It
And
was
like,
only recently that I actually noticed it.
and on the
but,
first meeting, what you were saying, there is like good cops and bad cops, and they switch up the rules, and it makes it difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you might want to work on right now would be, what are the questions that you want to ask other communities? If you're sitting with the parks director in Greencastle, what do you want to know about their parks? So getting a single list of questions that when we send different people out to different places, we'll all be asking the same question.
Right.
So you might want to just capture now get input from the group. You know, and like Ben said, find out the good and the bad. What have been the advantages and what have been some problems that you've had, so that you know that going in.
So what is like the main question that we should be asking, like? Like,
Maybe
because
there are like rules and regulations.
Insurance.
That's the one I hear a lot about, people asking.
Yeah, how did you
Who's
solve
gonna
it?
insure and who's gonna pay for the insurance?
How was
Yeah.
that problem solved? I guess it's being videos.
Yeah.
I just like wait to make a list.
On the idea of putting it behind the Y, I actually like made questions. I was like, are we gonna have to pay if it's behind the Y? Like, what would the hours be at the skate park if it's behind the Y? And I still haven't, like the lights and fencing. I looked that up, and that's also why I needed the Wi-Fi, because I looked up lights, and depending on how many we want, there's ones for like a 200 watt LED floodlight, which is 28,000 lumens, which is $285, or a 400 watt LED floodlight would be 570, or like a 3-1 would be like a 600 watt LED floodlight would be 869, and it just goes up and up.
Something you may want to actually look for, parking lot lights, where the lumens are gonna go up from there, and so of course the cost.
Right.
think you want to ask other communities, how did you get your money? Who funded it? How long did it take to build? And always ask, what difficulties did you run into? Was there a public anti-group that tried to stop you? But just knowing that going into this is better. But you want to get all those questions down on a sheet of paper so that whoever goes out has the same list of questions. And then you can compile it all, and when you're presenting to the Chamber of Commerce or the council or the Y board, you'll be able to say, we've done our research and sizes are about like this, costs are about here. You're just trying to set the stage for the actual project. By collecting that information, you have to think of yourselves, you're the educators, you're teaching them what it is you're looking for.
But by going to like Bloomington, Greencastle, and all those other places, you're basically just trying to look over somebody else's shoulder, get their information,
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I'm also getting tired.
and try to avoid all those pitfalls they did.
Right.
And what would you have done differently is always a good
It's a great
to
question.
ask
Yeah.
in anything. Because everybody's got that thing, even if it's a small thing
Oh,
or a
I
big
wish-
thing.
yeah.
I wish we'd have done that.
Yeah.
Cool. 'Cause I'm trying to make sure that this is like a positive thing and not no negative impact or anything.
If it's gonna be in the Y, it is kind of,
We don't know.
well, if.
I have no idea.
If we make it in the Y, there is membership costs to go to the Y, which you have to pay to get in, and it can be kind of costly.
I know, that's why I was
For younger
asking.
people who just want to go out there, they have to pay every time, or they have to pay like a subscription.
I think what we'd be talking about is a public
Oh, okay. I'm-
facility outside the building and,
Ah,
Yeah,
sorry.
so give an
Okay,
example,
right.
that little
That's
track
fine.
Yeah, that's
around the
fine.
Y,
Ask away anything. Huh?
that track around the Y,
Yeah.
if you go over there and walk it, they're not gonna stop you.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
No,
Yeah, but
good
I do
question.
really agree with that. We should, if possible, we should really try to keep this open to the public thing.
I don't. I
Also a guideline in all those skate park experts, it
Mhm.
needs to be open, preferably not fenced, hopefully lit for night use. So yeah,
Because if we
should be
did,
public.
yeah, because if we did get it going, I mean, I don't know if I'd have a say in it, but I wouldn't want people to pay to get to the park. 'Cause
No, right.
I just feel like that would.
I think we are going to assume, this is
Yeah,
a
exactly.
free recreational.
Yeah.
asset. Another thing you want to ask is, how long did it take you? From the day you had the idea, how long did it take you
To get it in motion.
This could
The
be a few
park
year
open.
project.
Pardon me?
This could be a few year project.
Yeah.
It already has been.
What the information I read is that most of them, it takes between 2 and 4 years. So, we won't have it this New Year's.
Well, since Moses is no longer here, we're pretty much starting from scratch, right? Like,
Yeah,
brand new.
yeah. The only thing we're able to build on is, I think Moses a few years ago raised some awareness, and I think a lot of people realized, wow, we do need something. So I think he started
He
the
started
thought
Getting the
process.
ball rolling a little bit, getting people
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah. So now you all get to volunteer for your task, and
Thank you guys.
need a fundraising committee, and a outreach committee, and
Corbin, John, do you want to do outreach for Greencastle?
Yeah.
Don't we go to Bloomington quite often?
Basically, you and I will go to Greencastle, see who's in charge of it, or do our research down here, make contacts, get the information that they're looking for, and
Yeah, ask questions, look over the shoulders, do the whole, what would you have done different, and
I wouldn't mind going to skate park in Bloomington.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun there.
Yeah, we go there quite often.
And I think it's the switch yard. That's the one that also has like the indoor park by
Yeah,
it.
that's
yeah,
where.
the warehouse, the
Yeah.
indoor park, and the switch yard has an outdoor.
Yeah, Hunger Skate Parks helped build the switch yard. So I wanted to go to there and like ask how they got that started. And I want to go to Rhett also and ask them anything in-person questions so it's like easier.
so you guys don't know.
I have a contact with the Parks Department, can't find it for some reason, but I'll get it to you. Because I think the woman that I've worked with over there about someday connecting our trails
And they
would be
said,
really good contact for us.
I think it was the skate park project. They said that ask about city money or city work, the private grants, or the in-kind donations from local construction companies like concrete, lumber, steel.
Great.
Right. And I was trying to look that up, but I wanted to ask you about that first because I wasn't for sure how to really look that up.
Look up specifically what, like the in-kind donation.
Yeah.
That's a term that's just used where somebody doesn't give you money, they do some work for you. So you might have a concrete hauler who would normally charge for trucking, and he would waive that. So that's called an in-kind gift.
Okay.
See, and you can get a lot of that. You can do a lot of a construction project. You know, if you find a business that will give you concrete at cost or something. They don't have to write a check, but they take some of their inventory and give it to you, or some of their labor.
I went to, I can't say the word, Muriel?
Mural?
Yeah, Muriel.
Oh, the mural?
Yeah, I was trying to find a way how, like, all of us could, like, do it ourselves, you know, so it's kind of, like, more special, and I was trying to see if we could, like, in a certain way do that as a fundraiser kind of thing, but I don't know how to really put that into motion, like.
Well, the first thing I'd say is, that sounds like a great feature when you go to talk to these people to say, and we would also like to decorate it with a mural that the young people who are using it would make part of the project.
Right.
I think that would be a positive. And then, I don't know how you use that as a fundraiser exactly.
Well,
Whoever said it, we may have to ask them. There's probably lots of ways you
Well,
could
that was like,
sponsor a square foot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it'd be by so
Something like
many
that,
feet,
yeah.
like, how much do you wanna
I can actually probably talk to my boss. And
donate per section?
I work at Stafford's liquor store,
Uh-huh.
and my boss has already sponsored.
That's
my
why I
brothers.
know you so well. That's funny, I know Ben and, sorry.
They've sponsored my brother's race car that he's done in the past. He's a dirt track racer, so I'm sure that I can get him on board with something like that, possibly.
Yeah.
cool, awesome, thank you.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I mean, it was only like $500, but you know, every little bit helps.
exactly.
I know professionally, they said if we got someone professionally to do it, it was like up to 50 to maybe 60, like per square foot or something like that.
For a mural?
Yeah.
I imagine, I mean, there's so many local artists that are into this idea that you can get like professional people to just
Right.
do it.
That'd be
So,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah. And some professional muralists will design their murals so that volunteers can come paint parts of it.
Yeah.
I've seen that project work really well.
And how I was trying to be like a fundraiser idea, like I would get the supplies, like all the paintbrushes, everything, and like before the skate park was built, like it's a really weird idea. Like people could pitch in $5 each for them to paint something, and then once the skate
Right.
park was built, we could put that money that they pitched in to get the skate park running, and then when it got started, they could come and paint and everything, you know.
Right.
But I don't know if that was a
Yeah.
weird idea or like.
Which reminds me of another question to ask other parks. How much, once you got it built, how much you have to pay for maintenance?
Oh, yeah.
You know, you have to keep it.
I
If
know the
we,
split shark recently had some kind of maintenance going on. We were up there one day and they were telling us that it was gonna be closed, so this would be a
Yeah.
real recent thing in mind.
Right. And that's Vincennes. Their park is older and they're just getting ready to refurbish it. So then we can tell the town that, you know, in Vincennes they did a park and 15 years later they had to put in another $10,000 to upgrade it. Whatever it is, I'm making those up. But then whoever's agreeing to this, and the town is probably going to, the town or the Y would be your primary grantor of permission. And so you just want to make sure that they know what they're getting into. Because they'll ask these questions, so we might as well
and
do the research.
if we do concrete, I think that's like 400,000, but it lasts for like 20 years. And if we do steel, that's like 200,000, and it lasts 8 years. And the maintenance on the concrete is like 2,000 per year, I think that was what. And on the steel, it was 6,000 per year.
Okay.
So I just looked all this up.
Yeah,
Like,
great.
I don't know if it's the right information or not. Like,
It is, because everybody's gonna have a little bit different, but you'll add that to what Greencastle says, what Bloomington says, and kind of get a average answer so that you can educate the town council on how much this might cost them.
Right.
Anybody else want to say anything about anything?
I've got a thing to say. As a group, what we should do in order to make sure that this whole idea maintains a good outlook in the community. Yeah, we're going to start splitting into little groups to try to go do things and get the information we need. But it would be good if we also showed we're willing to put some time into the town itself. Wherever we can volunteer for the Tivoli because they left us this place. Find something to do outside. Make sure that we keep a nice, clean profile.
Yeah, my path has a monthly work day.
Yeah.
Come out on the trail and cut some weeds or.
That's exactly what I'm
I'm
talking
into
about.
that.
Yeah.
And also, did you guys see that the town has like a garden going on?
Yeah, there's a community
Did-
garden,
are-
it's really
Do
cute.
you know where I could like contact to start like helping with that?
I think Marcy King would
Or keep?
be the contact for that also.
Is that the butterfly garden or something else?
There's a
I think
community
so.
garden and then the butterfly garden is right there?
I think it is, because they have a butterfly
Yeah.
on it, and I don't know.
That's gotta be the same one then.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. But I drive past it all the time, and I'm like, that's
That's
really
the one
awesome.
that's just on the other side of the Church of the Nazarene, right? Just
Yes.
Yeah.
right down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
we drove by
might be
today.
their property, I'm not sure. I think they might have, the church had something to do with it, I think they might have allowed the property to be used.
Would you mind if I went around and asked people what their concerns or opposition to a park would be, so we know exactly what people would be worried about, and we could maybe think more strategically about how to comfort them, or?
I think that would be great. What I would probably suggest is that we standardize it as a survey so that we're asking the same questions. That way you can kind of get a structured response rather than just random. Like if you have a conversation, it might go one way with one person, another way with another person, so you don't quite get usable info.
I was hoping it would, so they could say something we had thought about.
Yeah. And I think reaching out, now that's something you can certainly do it with people you know, and that will help us write a survey. If we start understanding what would be some of the concerns. I mean, you can guess some of them. It's like a bunch of rotten kids are gonna sit around and do bad things and,
You counter that by saying, well, the idea is to keep those rotten kids doing something at the park rather than something in front of your
Exactly.
store, behind your store, in your store.
Yeah. First, fun fact, these young people are not rotten. But some people have that assumption about everybody, I think, so. But yeah, it's a good idea just to start getting some.
And I would say, as you're talking to just random strangers about it too, you don't want to start off and be like, hey, did you hear about the skate park? What concerns do you have?
Right.
Because then you're automatically going to negative. Hey, have you heard about this skate park? You're like, well, I have concerns. You're like, oh, well, what are those? We'd love to talk to you.
Especially with strangers, there's an art to talking to people.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't automatically go to negative.
You know, if you could get a survey together, you can do it online, just with SurveyMonkey or something, but we could also have a survey at Pride Festival's coming up.
That'd be a really good
Ready
time.
for that?
Yeah.
Just be out there. I mean, we wouldn't care, My Path is gonna have a booth, we wouldn't care if you guys sat at our booth and stood and asked people to fill out a questionnaire as you walk
Could we
by.
get
We're gonna have a booth too. We could have a
Right,
question
yeah.
and
Yeah.
answer.
Flyers, cards.
Yeah,
Like, I know that for certain I could hand out flyers to get more word on our meetings and stuff like that at my work.
Yeah.
We definitely need a flyer.
Yeah.
We definitely should get a
Okay,
flyer.
who's gonna do the flyer?
I am not artistic at all.
So is it like a question flyer or like an artsy flyer?
I think we need an informational
We
flyer.
need an informational flyer and also an art flyer.
Okay, also.
So we should do like little booklets with would that be possible?
Like pamphlet?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we-
like a pamphlet.
Yeah,
like a pamphlet
yeah.
would be a really good idea.
Yeah, like I know for a fact that I can pass out whatever at my store. I mean, one of my coworkers always has these music festival things that he passes out. And my mother's my boss, so shame on her. She's already posted on the group her support, which I was honestly shocked to see as soon as I shared it 2 minutes
I saw
later.
that comment.
Yeah.
Oh, that was your mom.
Yeah, and I was like, holy. Probably.
He was written that was funny.
But yeah, my mother's never been really progressive with that kind of stuff, so I was honestly shocked as
It
soon
was
as I saw
crazy.
that she posted even before I commented on anything.
I
But
wonder
that's
how
really
many
good
people are-
because that just shows more, more positive outlook in the
Right.
town than, negative, especially somebody you didn't think would
Yeah.
be supportive of that coming out in support. It's really awesome.
And what kind of questions would you guys want on the survey? Like, what are some good things to say?
Should have a survey about what we should have on survey.
Okay, that's a great.
Well, however you design the survey, you can have, strongly agree,
Mhm.
agree, neutral, disagree, strongly disagree. Spencer needs a skate park. You could do it that way. I would end with some opportunity. Do you have any concerns about it?
Exactly,
And,
like a comments or-
just general comments. But
Yeah.
okay, what else would we want to know?
When you would say like, do you think that Spencer has plenty of things for young people
Right.
to do? Strongly.
Start with recreational opportunities for young people.
Yeah.
Like, are there enough things for young people? And
There really isn't.
yeah, we want them to
know
say
that.
that.
Yeah,
we
we
want
say
them
that. People that definitely know. Yeah.
My teenage years were walking around town in the dead of night just looking for something to do.
Yep.
That is so weird.
What would you rather have the teenagers doing?
Yeah.
Taking drugs, drinking alcohol, having sex, or skating?
Right.
That's it. Good question here. Who do you know that would be interested in using a skate park? And you might even keep it general, a skate park or other youth recreation asset.
A thought that just came to mind is for the county board and all that, they're probably going to be worried about injury and all that. Someone's going to sue. Like,
We already talked about
Yeah,
coming up with a good way to do insurance before.
And that'd be
Yeah.
insurance and where the liability.
Yeah, part of that would be basically a general waiver for anybody who steps foot on this park is taking their own responsibility.
Yeah.
That doesn't free the county or whoever actually will own or be in charge of this big thing. That would just be the start of the foundation. From there, then it would be insurance, what is available, who's gonna pay for it, that sort of thing. And
Yeah,
then-
depending on where the park is, if it's on town property, the town has a big umbrella liability. Anybody falls on the sidewalk or something, they're covered. They will probably have to pay an extra charge for special coverage for a skate park or the Y.
I would.
So there is
figure
some
because,
expense.
This is inherently kind of dangerous. And
Yeah.
I've hurt myself I don't know how many times.
Right. Yeah.
That is one of the questions we should ask all the other parks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What they do.
Well, we know that the warehouse requires a waiver signed before you're allowed to go into.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
you know, like, who are you gonna, like, I'm gonna sue the sidewalk because I scraped my arm, oh my God.
There's some people out there that do that though. Like,
Oh, trust me, pay over.
I'm sorry, what were you saying, Gavin?
Oh, I'm sorry, the warehouse, I know that there you have to read their paperwork and sign their liability waivers before you're even allowed
Yeah.
to go past the front desk into
Is
the.
that a business or is it part of
Like
that?
I
I
said,
believe it's a church youth organization or something.
Yeah,
like that.
that's what I think it is along those lines,
Yeah.
it's someplace for youth to go to, do different things, they have like rock climbing, and then they have the skating, and they have
Right.
different stuff, so I think as well, it's some kind of a church or religious organization, I never really looked into it, we went, kids loved it.
The only problem would be getting to enforce that they're signing waivers. If this is going to be a public outdoor thing, I mean,
We would
there's
need,
going to
like,
be
an
people
overseer.
like myself going there at night, probably.
Well, again, that's where there can be a town,
Yeah, this would be best if it was one of those things where it's understood that by being here,
You have to have
Your
posted
settings.
visible
Plenty of
signage.
signs, yeah, at least.
Yeah, I mean, you
Numbers, ads,
could,
blah,
you
blah,
always
blah.
see the signs that say, we are not responsible for any, blah, blah, blah. Well, those are useless. I mean, you could still sue them, whether the sign says that or not.
But there is an inherent risk to skating, and
Yeah.
therefore it is, it needs to be taken upon
Right.
the person who's skating to know that,
So that's definitely a question for our other
Their
skate parks.
responsibility.
How do you handle insurance? Liability insurance.
The sign literally could say skate at your own risk.
Yeah, it may also be covered under something similar like a horse ordinance where, hey, you already know it's extremely risky, so you can try to sue me because you call that horse, but it's still your fault.
Yeah.
But that's an actual, state ordinance or something.
that's a state law, and you do have to have it posted
Right.
if you have people coming on your property and messing with your horses.
And I also had a friend that was like going down a really bad path, and like they started skateboarding, and it like got them out of that, and it was really good opportunity for people in Spencer for that. Like what we were saying about getting kids off the street and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Like I've actually had.
Small towns are notorious for not having enough for younger people to do, and hence all the trouble, so.
What do we actually have in Spencer? I mean, we have the Tivoli and we have the YMCA, but
The
Yeah,
Mud
Cooper
Path.
Commons.
Cooper Commons.
My Y, Tivoli.
Does anybody ever go up to the Veterans Park?
Yeah.
I know that one. Yeah.
I've been up a couple times, but there
Trails.
needs to be more,
Activity, more,
Activity,
yeah,
yeah, more
something that
things
is
to
hands-on, like,
Yeah.
because,
that they
I
can
mean,
learn, meet other people that have interest in everything.
right, because not everybody can afford to go to the Y or have
Exactly.
time to go, like, if the Tivoli is doing a movie or something, somebody's interested in, then
Exactly.
that's time that, they're not gonna use it.
Skate park is open 24/7, hopefully.
Plus the
Yeah.
times that things close is
Yeah.
really getting to be a hassle.
Yep.
yeah,
Closing at
I
8
get
o'clock
out
at
of work
night,
at
like-
11 and then I have a few hours to burn usually, so that's what
Yeah.
I'm doing with my
Yeah,
time.
right.
Yeah, and I think there's an assumption that a lot of, that older people would have that, it's open at dawn and it closes at dusk. And I don't think that works for a skate park.
And I think that's all park laws around here, isn't it?
Generally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my path.
And I know
The way we
that,
do it.
I know my interest in that, but the elementary school says that too, so.
Yeah.
I don't know if Cooper says that or not, but.
So that might require, again, some education, why we would need a little different approach to a skate park.
The people that usually do this thing are night owls.
Yeah, a lot of us don't get out until it's quite late.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got people that are working or,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like,
I said just
even
go for about an hour right now.
after school,
Yeah.
or if you got a summer job or whatever, you have to work, and,
They're off and everybody's closed.
right, everybody else is closed, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And if you do have an, like, after-school job, it's like 4 to 8 or something like that.
Yeah,
or
and
4
then
to
you've
10.
got like, like the after hours, everybody is closed, there's nothing to do. You got Saturday nights, Friday nights, there's nothing going on.
That's something to ask those other park coordinators too, is what are their hours? Do they have
Yeah.
to on this?
Are they lit?
Hours?
Is
Like,
their park lit?
what do they see as the benefits or the downsides
Right.
to
And I think
whatever
Cascade-
they're doing?
And I think Cascades, they definitely are fenced, and I think they have hours where it's like dusk to dawn, I think, at Cascades. I'm not positive on that, but I think so.
I think they do too, and one of the things like that I've seen in differences, and I would like to find out, I guess through asking the people in Parks and Rec and the people that oversee the skate parks, is like, the Cascade Skate Park is really high security, massive fence, turnbuckle that you have to go through, a turnstile that you have to go through, so you can only take in like your skateboard and that's
Yeah,
it.
right, yeah.
Greencastle, you can take in BMX bikes, and it's a low fence, and they're more open to other things.
And also.
That's another question to add to the other facilities.
Mm.
Is it skateboards only? Is it
Yeah.
bikes?
And like, if we do, like, I'd like it if it was like bikes and everything welcome, not just skateboards. Because I know I've seen like a lot of kids around here ride bikes, and that would be incredible for them,
Yeah, if we could get 30 of these bikes here, it could really increase the total number.
I think it would be great if bikes were included in the,
Oh, rollerblades, yes.
Rollerblades.
Yeah.
I saw like 4 or 5 people going down the road yesterday or the day before, so.
Yeah, like the
Sure,
no
that'd be
skateboard
something.
signs also include rollerblades and stuff, so where are those guys going too?
And another great thing is actually they, for the Tokyo Olympics, they're actually having skateboarding go down. So like, if we could possibly have like kids here that are gonna be like the next Tony Hawk or something, and they don't know that until we get a skate park in
Right.
town, and
Right.
Mhm.
learn that, you know? Well, that'd be really cool.
We could use the chick from Fisher's as an excuse. She got the award for the cooking. She got to be in like like a Hell's Kitchen thing. She won. And I feel like if we did something like that. that'd
Get a
be cool.
celebrity
Yeah.
skater.
Yeah, cool, that'd be cool.
They come in, like the singers that are from Indiana or something, you're like, hey, they came from here, that's cool, you know? I
Well,
wanna
it
do
doesn't
that.
hurt that it's an Olympic sport now.
Mhm.
I mean, it gives it some credibility and respectability, so that's not a bad thing. So we need a list of questions for a survey, and we need a list of questions for our surrounding communities. And then we need volunteers to take that list of questions to Greencastle, Bloomington, Vincennes, wherever else you want to go. Somebody will then need to collect all that information and sort of summarize it. And then we need volunteers to do the survey once we have it. And then we'll need to compile that data. All of that is building up to the story that you're going to tell the town council about why we want this. And look what we've done. And believe me, that's going to be a much better ask than just going in and saying, hey, we want a skate park.
Right, with no backup or anything like that.
What does that mean? Well, so, this is kind of prep work to get the community behind you.
Mhm.
'Cause
And
it
thank
shows
you
you've
guys.
done your homework. And it's not just a flippant idea that somebody came up with and the next day you decided to do it.
Yeah.
Totally did not do that. Not me, what?
No, that would never.
I really do think that the pamphlets and stuff will help too. I mean, I've just ran away my board on the counter where people have been like, oh yeah, I used to skate, blah, 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 and then
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, Grant,
That'd be really cool.
Grant
too.
Shorter already volunteered.
Okay.
He was at the first meeting. He's a graphic designer professionally, so I can send him he's probably on the group.
I think he is, yeah.
Grant Shorter, so just check with him. He already offered the same night as the meeting.
His wife Susan does some pretty amazing art too.
Yes, she
did
does.
actually, she did this first, so.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So.
That's awesome. Cool. And,
Donations that we might use them to make T-shirts or print more pamphlets or something. So anyway, okay, that's for you.
cool. Anything else anybody want to say, put out there?
So next step, you want to post what you come up with. Maybe the video will be posted so we can poll those questions.
We are live on the air now, so somebody can be watching this right now.
Whoever you are, would you write down all the questions that we came up with? 'Cause I didn't write any of this down, so It's recorded.
It's the documentary guys, so there's like 2 minutes of possible nothing.
You could put a post up on that Facebook group too, like what questions would you like to see on the survey, whether it be for the people involved in parks or
Yeah.
for people in the community.
Yeah.
And then we can all kind of chime in and we can pull some things out of there.
Right.
That actually seems like a really good idea.
Crowdsource your survey.
Yep, exactly.
Survey for the survey.
It's just gonna start.
We ended up
spinning
there,
out committee, subcommittee.
And you can use it that.
Yep, the subcommittee for the committee.
Alright.
Okay, I did find the Kelly Whitmer at Monroe County Parks. Great person. We'll write her number down.
Yeah.
Is that who
You
you
said
talked to,
Kelly?
John?
Kelly,
About Flatwoods?
Kelli, Whitmer,
That's
Whitmer.
yours.
Yeah, I know that whoever you talked to was really nice.
Can you say that, please?
Yeah, Kelly, Kelli, last name is Whitmer, Whitmer.
Okay.
I have this, I better get out of so. I will, what's your?
My email, Shakira Bowling. Are you gonna write this
Got my
down?
pen. What's your name?
Shakira Bowling, 123 @gmail.com.
Okay. I'll just send you her.
Okay.
Because I think I have her office number too, but, okay. Okay, thanks.
Just a little one.
So, be thinking about whether you want to be an ambassador and make one of those contacts. We'll come up with some standardized questions. If you're available for Pride, you want to do some surveys in the public. I think that's a very friendly crowd too, so why not?
Oh, yeah, right, very.
I don't mind skewing our data a little bit by asking a more progressive friendly crowd. There's nothing wrong with that. Since we missed apple butter, so.
Wait. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that would have been a good one.
Yeah. Talk to the other side.
Come on, mentor, you just help me out.
I was in,
I'm doing
I was in charge of the toilet race. I was really busy.
I've been in the game forever.
I don't necessarily have a lot of time for field trips, but I can be like a business liaison if you want.
That'd be
With
really
the
cool.
Chamber of Commerce and Economic Development. I can talk to those people for you too. if you need to.
Yes, please, thank you very much.
We get our shot during Pride Fest. We get our shot.
I think we had already agreed to talk to the guys in Bloomington, because we go there a lot anyway.
Yeah, we keep looking at the reds and switch yard at least once every couple of weeks.
I assume we'll be doing that once we have the question, like the actual pamphlets.
Yeah, right.
Okay, okay.
And then we'll give you Kelly's info too, so that you can talk to her. I think she's been a friendly person to work with. We made our MyPath connection, and we're trying to connect Monroe County to Owen County's trails.
Nice.
But
That'd be cool.
it's a long ways off, but it would be so cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so get posted up, we'll get feedback from the crowd, and set another meeting.
2 weeks from now?
Sounds good.
Is that cool with everyone?
Yeah.
4 o'clock?
2 weeks from now.
Yep. Or maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, you can always
The
ask.
7th.
7th? Is
Yeah,
it?
October.
John, 7th of October, 4 o'clock,
Here again?
Sounds good.
and then find out where, like, are we gonna do it here? Like Leslie or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll get a message out if it has to be somewhere different.
Alright, yeah. Did that little libraries
Yeah.
really switch up, so.
Didn't cause a problem unless there's a bunch of people in the library.
Yeah, I did see that today. I was like, what's the library? I guess I must have read it wrong.
Oh, I hope to not be one of those. Oh, that was.
I just want to make one clarification. We are live on Twitch, but there seems to be an issue with YouTube.
I was gonna say.
So I'll get it uploaded on YouTube. I've got a problem with all playing playback, ID blah, tap to retry.
And you don't have to wait for me to get another email set up, so.
If I can get it down. everything else that had a little bit on.
Yeah.
Okay.
All set? Anything else?
I think we covered pretty much everything.
Sounds
This
good.
time.
We're in the collect information mode.
On a
Yeah.
1 to 10, how comfortable do you guys feel about this?
9 3/4.
Good one.
Yeah.
All right, all
That's
right.
about right.
I'll take it,
Yeah,
I'll take it.
yeah.
What's to be uncomfortable about?
Huh?
So what's to be uncomfortable about, right?